Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi at-tahirin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Respected brothers or sisters, whosoever may come and watch. Condolences on the loss of our Imam Jawad alayhi salam on this day. Today we are going to have another lesson of Shia Creed, a short lesson, inshallah, because I want to make about 10 lessons of Shia Creed to fulfill the curriculum that we have presented, and we want to have about 10 lessons. So today I am going to give a short lesson on Shia Creed, and then we are going to next week inshallah talk about some of the sifa of Allah. So the first topic I want to talk about is coincidence. You may have heard this before. You may ask someone, what created the universe? And they say, it just happened by chance. If one says the universe was created by chance, or it was created by coincidence, we can say coincidence does not repeat in the same pattern, nor does it repeat in the same direction. So you have two things. You have a pattern and a direction. If it were really coincidence, it would not repeat in the same direction, nor would it repeat in the same pattern. Like I was saying in the Burhani Nizam, in the argument of design, I said that we do not see a donkey give birth to flowers, nor if we planted a tomato seed, would we expect a horse to grow out of that seed. This is because there is a realistic pattern happening that we are observing. There is a direction and a pattern. If this world was created by coincidence, there would be no same pattern. There would be no same direction. It could take a different direction. It could take different patterns randomly. So it could go either this way or that way and randomly just mix it up and go this way, that way. One day, we could see a tomato seed sprout cattle. Or one day, we could see a donkey give birth to a house. It could mix up randomly. Or give something natural, stones. Hence, when we observe the world around us, we see and we notice, it's very obvious to us, that we have a constant pattern and direction happening in front of us, such as the circulation of the solar system, the pattern of treeness. What is treeness? Every time something grows in a certain way with certain essence, it is a tree. We have a pattern of the imprint of treeness happening. We see treeness happening as a pattern in front of us. Thousands upon millions of trees. Same with the animals. Thousands upon thousands of single species, this species, that species, thousands upon thousands of human beings, thousands upon thousands, millions, forget thousands, millions, billions of rocks, sand grains, blades of grass, raindrops. We observe in the world around us that there is a constant pattern and there is a direction happening. Humanity found in humanness, the fact that we are having insania, that we are having humanity in us. You never notice a human being giving birth to a tree. You never notice a tree sapling growing into a human being. This indicates to us that there is a set pattern in the very jism, in the very body of human being, in the very creation of the form and the matter of the human being. Then you have the human being as its essence, as its mahia, as its quiddity. And that is, we could leave into the logical sciences and the akhlaqi sciences for discussion. But just the fact of it, when we look at a jism, when we look at a body, we notice that it is the body of a human being. When we look at a tree, we notice it has the treeness of a human being. When we look at a plant, it has the plantness of a plant. When we look at a rock, it has the rockness of a rock. There's a pattern happening. It's obvious. We're just pointing out the obvious facts. This indicates to us that there is a set pattern and direction, and this opposes the premise of coincidence. This is a direct, obvious fact standing in the way of coincidence, as if the world happened by coincidence, if coincidence was the way it was happening, then there would be no pattern, there would be no direction. Things could randomly get mixed up. So this opposes the premise of coincidence, as such a pattern and direction cannot be born out of coincidence. Do you see? To have such a pattern, such a system, such a nizam, such a direction, such a natural system that's created, to have that pattern and that direction in it just come out of chance, with all its amazing and intricate and detailed features and patterns and directions, and even the whole world put together couldn't think of this. Such a system of the universe that we are observing around us, just a glimpse of it, opposes the idea of coincidence, because such a thing cannot be born out of coincidence. And coincidence also cannot cause repetition, as that is a pattern. If there's repetition, this would be a pattern. Imagine if we had a stack of papers arranged and numbered 1 to 100. We have a stack of papers arranged and numbered 1 to 100, all perfectly ordered. Then the papers are shuffled and given to a blind person to rearrange them in numerical order, in the pattern of 1 to 100. What are the chances that he rearranges them properly in order? What are the chances? They're very small chances. His chances of finding the number 1 is 1 in 100. Finding number 2 is 1 in 99. And chances of getting a whole note rearranged is 1 over 97,000. 1 over 97,000. The chances are very, very slim. Very rare. So to say the whole universe, with its vast and complex system and a vast amount of patterns, was born out of coincidence, is a bit of an absurd statement. Is a bit of a nonsensical thing to say. So this assumption, nonsense talk, that the world the universe was created out of coincidence, falls away. Just by the obvious fact of what we see. It's amazing how there could be obvious things in front of us, but people are so confused. They get so confused and mixed up without proper insight to call attention to the very things that are in front of their eyes. They miss the point and they lose what's really there. The other problem is the problem of the existence of evil. Atheists, they come and they say this argument. They say that if God is all loving, why does evil exist? This issue that atheists have is an issue that is born and raised on in a Christian understanding. So it has a Christian context to it. It's within the Christian worldview, not an Islamic worldview. Because we can say first, sometimes evil is relative. That is, some things are not actually evil. However, people may find them as evil. They're not actually evil. However, they may appear to some people as evil. So they're not really evil. People just don't like them. They're not evil, but people, they associate this name with them. They're not actually something evil. But they appear this way to people, such as earthquakes, floods. In reality, if you put the purpose to these things, that just the fact of looking at the aspect of, for those that it is a test and a trial towards, they're not evil. Because those people who go through tests and trials, they're going to get much good. They're going to get so much. If they succeed, they're going to get closer to Allah. They're going to get Allah's mercy if they succeed in the tests and trials of this world. So they're not evil because they serve a high purpose. People look at them in a certain way, but we could say that they have a high purpose. Either they punish wrongdoers, or believers get rewarded, or believers succeed in tests, or people get awakened to get closer to Allah, to realize God exists. And the whole creation was to get Allah's mercy. The whole creation, the whole purpose of creation was to get Allah's mercy. And the highest mercy is to know Allah. So these things, they have purpose. So we don't need to dwell on them. And we could talk more in different areas on those, inshallah, when we get there. As for evil that is related to the deeds of people, we can say that whensoever a person performs an action, that action is attributed to the person, not to God, because the person has decided to do that thing. In fact, Allah has given them good things, good potentials, good abilities, the ability to, and even the ability to make the choice between right and wrong. And Allah the Exalted has given guidance to humanity, given guidance to mankind to make the right choices. So they succeed in the test. High purpose. All of this gives value to one's deeds. To do it on your own, to make the choice on your own, gives much value to your deeds. Hence, Allah the Exalted has given humanity good. And the misuse of good, the use of it in the wrong way, the taking it in the wrong direction, such as in tyranny, using one's ability in tyranny, and evil, is attributed to the person, not to Allah. Because the person made the choice to use the abilities that he had, the things that he had, in the wrong way, to misuse them. And he's responsible for that. And there's a day of judgment where he will be dealt with. Where he or she will be dealt with. And they better hope that they make it through. So the misuse of good things in the wrong direction, such as tyranny and evil, is attributed to the agent of doing the deed, not to Allah the Exalted. This is also noteworthy to show us that we are accountable on our deeds. And this is an Islamic message that we are accountable for what we do, that we are harming ourselves if we do wrong. Therefore, in an Islamic worldview, this is not an issue because we believe that Allah the Exalted is just. And the purpose of creation is to obtain His mercy through tests and trials, through ibadat, worships, through these kinds of things, such as doing the good deeds, doing the righteous deeds, doing the ibadat, and saying the good words, doing the right words, refraining from saying bad words, saying the things that will be wrong to say. As well, the evil deeds of people are attributed to the agents of doing those deeds. So the things that people do that are evil, that's on their shoulders. That's their fault that they did evil, and they will be held in responsibility for it. Because we believe that there is a day of judgment where everybody will face this day. There is accountability for our deeds. We cannot go on in life thinking that we will get away with everything. A believer lives life with two lights in him, one of hope and one of fear. He's hoping for Allah's mercy and fears Allah's punishment. He or she. A believer lives like this. A believer doesn't think that just because they believe in something that they're saved automatically. No. You have to work for it. What do you think that only 60 years, 70 years, 100 years of this life is worth eternity in paradise? You need Allah's mercy even if you lived a whole life perfectly. A small speck of sand for an entire eternity in paradise. And we're asked to give that small speck of sand, that small speck of a lifetime in obedience to Allah. And the whole time Allah is embracing us with His mercy and guidance and helping us and here for us. But what do? We walk and we refuse to listen. We refuse to turn towards Allah. We continue in evil deeds. And then yet we'll have the audacity to think that because we have a certain belief that we're going to be saved forever. We need Allah's mercy. That's the point. We need Allah's mercy, and we should be trying to obtain it in every single possible way while we're in this earth. From the moment that we are responsible enough to understand to the moment that we die. وَالْآخِرُ دَوَانَا أَنَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ وَصَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَى سَيِّدِنَا مُحَمَّدٍ وَآلِهِ الطَّاهِرِينَ